I chucked it out on Gumtree, and the first guy that sent me a message, he was like, "Oh, can you come to my house and measure it up?" I was like there in like 15 minutes. So I was like, "Yeah, I'll go measure it up," and yeah, so many orders started coming in.
Thanks for coming down, buddy.
No worries.
Hey, we'll
Cheers,
we'll
mate.
go for a take two on my fuck up of a preemptive setup.
That's alright.
Oh yeah. So for anybody that's been living under a rock and hasn't seen your tub racks,
Yep.
well, tub rack, but more specifically your tub racks, we met through me getting one done for the shop truck, and I fucking just loved the quality of what you were doing. I like the way you've laid it out. It's like, it's simple, but it's fucking usable. It's steel, and all that. So if you were to explain to somebody who wasn't familiar with what it is that you do, because you don't just do tub racks, do you? You do a heap of other stuff. You do a lot of accessories and stuff as well.
Yeah, that's what we've been pushing lately.
You just got to come into the mic
Sorry,
a little
mate.
more.
First timer.
Yeah, you'll be alright. You'll get used to it.
Yeah, like to start off with, it was just tub racks, and then started pushing other things. Dabbed in the rock sliders for a little bit.
Yeah.
Steel
You're
trays.
still doing that?
Not really.
No.
Pretty much.
It's a pain in the ass with all those bloody templates and setups.
Yeah, it's just we've just found our little niche market with the tub racks.
Yeah.
You know what it's like running a business. You find your little thing that you're good with, and just sort of stick with it.
Yeah.
So that's what we found with the tub racks. Just pretty much just pushing them now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a fucking good product. I love it. It's I know when you did mine, we went that little bit further and got you to put the logo in it and all that sort of stuff. So it's not, obviously there's the bread and butter type, you know, your templates for specific vehicles, height, width, all that stuff.
Yep.
But for somebody that wanted something a little bit more custom, you just can do that too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we specialise in. Where a lot of other companies, they sort of push it away. They don't want to do the custom stuff.
They just want to do that mass produced
Yeah,
stuff.
just mass produced. But yeah, we love the custom stuff.
Yeah.
Something different as well.
For sure.
But you do the same stuff over and over, and then
It does get a bit boring.
it's just tedious.
Yeah.
Yeah, same shit every day. But
Yeah. So how long have you actually been running it for?
I had to look this up because I thought you'd ask that.
It's been that long.
Yeah, it's been that long. First started in late 2017. So
Okay.
yeah, 2017. I think it was.
That's when I started this.
Oh really?
Yeah, I opened the doors to this in November 2017.
Yeah, wow. So it was about, I think it was December, very late. Pretty much wanted our own tub rack. It was it wasn't really a big thing back then. Like a tub rack was still sort of new.
No.
But yeah, we had a camping trip coming up, and we've seen a few little tub racks, like homemade ones, and I was like, fire, I should just give that a go.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it
Just
started.
went from there.
Yeah, it just started, man. When I first started, like, I don't know how far you want to get into this, but
Yeah, no, go for it.
Go for it.
We can go back to nappies if you
Yeah.
want. Like,
that far.
there's a big build up.
Yeah. Like pretty much how I started was in a driveway, like a long driveway beside the house.
Yeah.
I set up a tarp from the fence to the house, so I had a
Yeah.
bit of shade.
Yeah.
You know those old Kmart cheap tables with the glass top? Like,
Oh, that little outdoor
the
table.
little outdoor seats.
Yeah. I get
had
that.
one of those.
Yeah.
Got like I think there was a bit of old fibre cement sheeting
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
laying around the house. I sat that over the top of the table,
Yeah.
and that's what I was welding on.
Fuck. I mean,
Under a tarp in a driveway.
whatever works. You
So
know?
yeah, heaps of fuck ups on the first one.
Well, but
Like
that's
working
cool.
out. Oh, I'm a carpenter as well, so
Yeah.
a lot of people
So a carpenter
Yep.
with a glass top table decided to start welding up metal.
pretty much put a
Fucking-
welder in his hand,
I
and
fucking love it.
that's how it started.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was sitting there doing that first one. I think I lit the grass on fire as well. Still learning. So the grass is on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a long time ago now. And yeah.
It's weird. It's weird to even think like that 2017 is a long time ago, because it's like it doesn't there's
Feels
some
like yesterday.
parts of it does.
Yeah.
I mean, like when you sit back and you look at business
Yeah.
and what you've gone through,
Yeah.
and you peel it apart, you're like, oh, it's fucking forever ago.
Yeah.
But But to just go 2017, was that last year? The year before? You know.
But we both started our business then. That's like a big event, so you're gonna remember that year.
And so was your concept? Well, I mean, I guess it depends. So you still had a full-time job, obviously, when you were doing that.
Yeah.
So you spent some time. How did that go from like a hobby to fuck? I can do this for a living.
Yeah, it was hectic times then. Like I was working big hours.
Yeah.
Like obviously, I think I usually started at like 6:30 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
And then it was like 3 o'clock you'd knock off. By the time you get home, what's that, like 4 o'clock, depending where you work. And
it's stupid o'clock when you've gotten up that early.
But yeah, and then in the afternoons, every afternoon I was in the shed. Like it wasn't even a shed when I first started.
Under the tarp.
Under the tarp.
Yeah.
I did move into like a little carport where I got a bit more shade and set up a drop saw and stuff like that after a few weeks of establishing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the start it was just hectic, big hours, pretty much 12-hour days every day and all weekend. So there was no time off.
Yeah. Did it take off? Like it took off. Obviously, if you're working that many hours, it took off pretty quick, or?
Yeah, it did. Like once I built that first one for myself, a lot of the chippies and stuff that I was working with at the time, a few of them boys wanted them.
Yeah.
And then back then, Gumtree was massive.
Yeah.
Like, now it's just like Marketplace and stuff like that where you buy and sell shit. But back then it was Gumtree. Gumtree was the biggest thing. I chucked an ad on Gumtree and got a heap of inquiries, and I was so excited at that stage. Like I think the first guy that sent me a message, he was like, "Oh, can you come to my house and measure it up?" And it was like a 15-minute drive away, and I was like so excited. It was like the first one.
You're like, "Fuck yeah, I'll come. Yeah. I'll do it."
I was like there in like 15 minutes. I was like, "Yeah, I'll go measure it up," and yeah, so many orders started coming in, and then.
What was your price point back? Okay, I'll start that again. How different was it to what you've got now?
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Yeah.
Back then I wasn't doing powder coating.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was just like a raw finish or just like a can of spray.
Yeah.
And
the aerosol coat.
Yeah, the old aerosol coat. I think they were maybe $450, $400.
Yeah.
So pretty cheap. But now, like, there's a lot of the King shit on the market, which is like the same price as that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's definitely a lot cheaper.
Yeah, there's, I mean, Jesus Christ, you could do you could do a series on the products that they sell and what to and what not to buy. But
yeah, 100%.
At least now, the only benefit that they've got now is the stuff they're bringing out being alloy is it won't rust. Because that shit you'd pull that out of a box. Pardon me. You pull that out of a box, give it a bit of a clean up, blow down, and there's like rust dust around the little holes from fucking factory. They supply you with the rust. So at least now they're alloy, but it's I don't know. I'm so much more for the steel.
Yeah,
you know?
well, I love using steel. Obviously, being a chippy by trade, I didn't really learn anything about alloy anyway. Like how I started, I went to Trade Tools and bought like a $300 welder or something.
Yeah,
and that's how I started.
Yeah, so that's it though.
The cheapest welder, and that done me for ages. It was actually a decent welder. Yeah,
the little Renegade ones.
Yeah, that's
I got a few things out here that are Renegade.
That was a good welder. So I used that for probably the first 12 months. But yeah, even after the first Gumtree ad that I done, I think I done Marketplace was just sort of taken off. I put one ad on Marketplace a couple of weeks in. I think that had like, because you can see the views and stuff that you get on each ad you have.
Yeah.
I think it had like 10,000 views. Like there was nothing else on the market back then. Like it just went off, and so like I was getting probably 10 orders a week, which is hectic. Like too much for what I already had going on.
Yeah.
Working a full-time job, and I had 10 tub rack orders to fulfill, and I was like, far out, this is hectic. I had a few mates just like helping me out here and there on the weekends, just like sand and shit and stuff like that, which helped out, and just paying them like cash and stuff. But yeah, it was just hectic.
So that's crazy. So you're doing like 1 million hours a day, still working. What's that point? Where do you get that point where you're like, I can't do both. It's gonna kill me.
Yeah. Well, the plus side of working that many hours is the money, obviously.
True.
So the money was good. Can't really complain. Pretty much do whatever I want. but yeah, my body was not having it.
Yeah.
I think it was about 12 months. I started to, probably 12 months in, I started to wind back on the carpentry work.
Yeah.
It was just getting too much. Like, they're big hours to be working all the time.
Shit, yeah.
So yeah, I think it was about 12 months in. I was like, yeah, dude, like, to my boss at the time, like, he's a good fella, always helped me out. But yeah, I was just like, I need to start cutting back. Like, I need to have a full day off here and there so I can catch up on all these orders coming in.
Yeah.
And he was fine with it. And then
He's relatively small business. Like he got understood what you were doing.
Yeah, he was just like a small builder, but done like big jobs and stuff. But I just like work really close with him and stuff like that. So it's just me and him.
Okay.
But yeah, once I started to like leave a little bit, he started to get like subbies in, like other chippies and stuff to help out.
Yeah.
Which helped me out heaps. But yeah, it was a lot of hours.
About a year in.
Yeah.
So that's a transition. Are you married?
No, not married yet.
No. You with a partner at the time?
Yeah, with a partner. She's been with me since the start. So.
What's that conversation like? You're like, you know what? I know this paycheck is amazing, but I'm gonna get rid of that, and we're gonna do this.
It didn't even really like cut back on the money side of things, like because I started taking time off away from the carpentry. Like I could advertise more, and I could start building more tub racks.
Yeah.
And I was always making more money doing the tub racks, but like I wasn't doing it for very long. Where it's like, oh yeah, this is like a sustainable income.
Yeah.
Like I could die off. It was my first sort of time working for myself. Like you don't really know if the money's going to keep coming in.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, the money sort of thing didn't really change. But yeah, I started to like get a little bit more like business minded sort of thing.
Yeah.
And started to think, where can I save time? And that's when, like when I first started, I was using, I don't know, you know the little mandrel bend corners that you buy?
The little cast.
Yep,
Yeah.
Those ones. I used to use those and then like cut my steel square and then butt joint it and then weld every corner. So there's two welds per corner.
Yeah.
And then sand it all back. So that's how I first started. That's what I used to do.
Yeah, it's good though, because it's like, it's one of those, you do what you got to do, but yeah, once you start getting to a point where there's some money involved, and you're like, yeah, fuck, we've got to work out a better way.
It's so shit, just sanding those constantly, and then I was like, yeah, okay, I need to save time, and I want to have the quality a lot better.
Yeah.
So I started subbing out the outside frame.
Yeah.
So it's all one piece. They do all the bending, and I've got to weld one butt joint. So we go from 8 butt joint welds to 1.
Yeah.
And I've just got to sand that. So that was the first big thing that we changed with the business, and it saved me so much time. Like a little bit more money that you're paying out in advance, but money well spent. Like I've just got more time on my hands. I can take in more orders and stuff like that. So that was the first big thing that we changed.
Yeah. And so all that, like the laser cutting, because I mean we were talking earlier about the concept of bringing a bit of that like in-house, and you're getting to a point where there's a lot of outlay, but I mean from how long we were talking, and you're always ahead in bookings.
Oh yeah.
So it seems like it's just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
What are you, 6 years into it now?
Yeah,
you're still doing it.
It's crazy. Like when I first started, I was like, I'm not gonna buy any machinery because I don't know when it's gonna like this. It felt like it was just like a hype. Like the tub rack was like a new thing, and I thought it would sort of wind back. So I didn't want to buy any big machinery and waste my money. So pretty much all I needed to start was just the welder that I brought from Trade Tools, $300, and just a standard saw, like chop saw.
Yeah.
And then, obviously as we went on, we bought better equipment and stuff like that, but we didn't really outlay any money.
No, the metal's great because it's relatively cheap to get into. If you fuck it up, you just weld it back on, and it's just, I mean, especially because you'd be MIG. Are you MIGing everything or TIGing?
Yeah, MIG.
Yeah, and that's like, what's the old line? You don't have to be great with MIG. You don't have to be great at welding. You got to be a good grinder.
That's a lot of my mates tell me that.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of them are like, because I've got a lot of welder mates now
yeah.
from doing this, and they're all shocked at how good I actually weld. But being a carpenter, you sort of learn a little bit about everything. That's my phone.
There you go. Well, you're 6 years in now. You'd hope you'd picked it up by now.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
You know, that's a bit of practice.
Yeah, but yeah, going back to that start, like when she said you wanted to do the podcast, I started going back through some photos, trying to get some memories coming back through.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, far out, we've come a long way.
It's well, and that was why I got your Instagram up so that we could have a bit of a look. Where are we here? No. Well, Facebook.
Facebook, yep.
Facebook. You got some followers and stuff, man. You got you're not following very many. Hey, you got to give it a little back.
Yeah, I don't actually jump on the personal business page much.
No. If we bring up some photos, I'll have a bit of a look here. What have we got going on here? So, all right. So
Most recent.
that's your most recent one. So, okay, we were talking about this when I was down there. So that sits into your channel.
Yep, the mounting channel.
Yeah, and we've got, but that's your basic. So I went full flat top.
Yep.
Which, in retrospect, that front hoop probably would have come in handy. I probably should have thought about that a little better. But here we go. That's a BT50. That's what I'm rolling in.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah, that's exactly what I got. Yeah.
Exactly.
Except we went a little bit custom with the logo.
Yep.
But they're a fucking good rack, and like it's got a bit of weight to it. Like it's not
They're
some
a solid
lightweight.
unit.
Yeah,
like,
fuck
yeah.
yeah. Like I've been jumping up and down on mine a couple of
Yeah.
times, and I'm not going to break
After
it.
I fit a tub rack, like I think even this customer here, like once I fit it, I say, do you want to jump up and test it out?
Yeah.
I've had one guy that actually did.
Yeah.
But yeah, because when you're actually bolting the universal one together, like going through the stages, it's not too sturdy until you do up the bolts.
Yes.
And then as soon as you fix everything in, like it is
It's going
solid.
fucking nowhere.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And you're doing a heap of other stuff with the so that's that racking system.
Mm-hmm.
What was have you got any photos on here of some of those accessories we were talking about, like the MAXTRAX mounts or whatever?
If you go back up just slightly, that photo there, that's fourth in. Yep.
Oh yeah.
So that's like a reinforcement bracket. The same thing what we were talking about before about that mounting channel.
Yep.
So this reinforces that mounting channel to increase the weight capacity on the mounting channel itself.
Yes, it's not all that weight on that channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's cool.
that's another big thing we do. We've sent those brackets there to England, New Zealand. So,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, worldwide.
And it's still just you.
Yeah, still just me. I do
You're
everything.
a lunatic.
It's hectic.
You're a lunatic, dude. What are you working like a fucking 1,000 hours a week?
Yeah.
Good grief.
But yeah, the MAXTRAX mount that you were talking about before should be down a little bit further. Should be one at least. That's the other bracket there. That's for like the PX1 to PX3 wild tracks. That's another big seller.
That's full load share down to the.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's the old like tie down point.
Yep, that's right. Another thing that just reinforces that roller shutter.
God, you got some good gear in here, man.
So we've sent those overseas as well. That sort of bracket.
Yeah. And I think we were talking about it with the mount points. Did you, with the mounting points for the MAXTRAX,
Mm-hmm.
did you? Because you were saying you put the single mounts. Was it a 26 mil mount or something like that to the tube?
The pipe clamps, I think.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, so there's the pipe clamps. There's a few different systems that we do. There's the one there. So that's the one for the wild tracks.
Your mount is under. Oh, it looks like that, does it?
No, it's just, I don't know if there's it's pretty much just that black bar that you can see on the left there.
Yeah, and then it's got like two T sections or something.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
But that's just dead space normally. So on the wild tracks, that's...
Oh, yeah, it is too. Look at that.
Yeah, because that's where the sail gland sits.
Yeah.
And then when that roller is fully open, it's just like dead space. So
That's
a lot of people
fucking
just...
great idea.
Yeah, a lot of people just love to tuck there. Because MAXTRAX, when you go camping, it's like the last thing. They're not like massive, but they're quite big and bulky.
Yeah.
So you always got to find a spot to sit on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another sort of bracket just up further.
That one there?
Yeah, that's another different design we've done.
Yeah.
Just working around like all the existing points. So on this next gen, we've got the light there in the middle.
Yep.
So we've spread it out a little bit.
That's bloody great.
using all existing points as well. So
Yeah.
very DIY friendly, but you don't have to drill any holes. Super simple.
Yeah. That's awesome, because I know when we were talking about, so if someone wanted to mount them to, like we were talking about with the clamps, and that clamp, the 20, what was it?
Yeah, I think it's 26 mil. I think you're right.
I feel like I feel like you said 26 mil, something
Yeah.
like that. But that the clamp, 2 on each bar, and where that sits is perfect for the MAXTRAX things.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that, did you pull that out of your ass, or did you measure
No, I
that?
just pulled it out of my arse.
There you go. Fuck yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, one customer sent me, like, it's amazing what the customers send you afterwards, like the little ideas that they come up with.
Yeah.
Like one customer just said to me, "Oh, dude, you buy these 26 mil clamps off, I don't know if it was eBay or something like that, but
Yeah.
you buy these and then buy this other bracket, and then put your MAXTRAX on it. It's like a perfect center to where your bars are positioned." And I was like, "Far out."
You're like, yeah, man. I actually designed it that way. I just forgot to tell you. So yeah, no, it was that's awesome. Because the I set mine up on the BT quite like it's. I think there's about 50 mil between the front of it and the glass.
Yeah, it's close.
So yeah, so that you still had a bit of height like right at the back of the tray.
Yep.
And plus like that side profile, it's kind of, I like the way it's stepped, but I've still got to pull my finger out of my arse and get the MAXTRAX on there and stuff. But yeah, no, it's a good little system. It looks great. You do a bloody good product.
Yeah, well, that's what we've tried to do over the years. Like every year, we try to better our quality as much as we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, like starting with just the external frame, getting that bent up. So that's like all CNC bent. Like trying to get 4 corners completely square and flat is quite hard with a. Well, I've got a bender at home, but trying to get all 4 corners square, it's actually quite hard.
Yeah, for sure.
And like it's actually like just getting that external frame. It's like pretty pricey, but we're happy to pay for that for the quality.
And the time saver as well.
Yeah, and the time saver, like just the quality, like all that in one piece.
Yeah.
That's what we were trying to achieve, like the best quality we could. And yeah, wasn't too worried about the price. Like if it did cost us a little bit more, we weren't too worried. But
I think that steps up the end result of that quality, which would mean that it steps up the end result of the price too.
Yeah,
so
100%.
if it's a little more,
yeah,
then I mean, people are going to be happy to pay for that that little bit extra. But it's just a good looking product. I like it.
even with the mounting holes. So there's just like a bit of 5 mil flat bar that rack mounts to that mounting channel on that one. Like we used to pre-drill like by hand all those holes before we started getting everything laser cut. Like the amount of time we used to spend that we could have saved, but we're still learning, like a new business. Like we're just like learning the best way.
For sure.
And like they all used to get like plasma cut and stuff like that, and then we moved into laser cutting. And like the first, even the same rack you've got, the first legs that are on my ute, they're plasma cut. I think I showed you the difference.
Yeah.
Like just the plasma cutting and laser cutting, it's just like completely different.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
laser cutting is just immaculate.
So what's so you're right, you're 6 years in, you've got pardon me, you've got all the great tub racks and all the little bolt-on accessories and stuff like that. Do you see yourself sort of going into anything else, or you want to expand the range, or?
Yeah, we're not too sure. Like this year, like we're starting to, like we've got a few tubs and stuff at home that we're starting to prototype a few new little brackets and stuff like that. We're starting to find that all these little brackets and stuff like that, people are absolutely loving.
Yeah.
Like even just like the MAXTRAX mounts and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's what we're more leaning towards.
Okay.
Obviously keep our tub racks there, but adding other little items that you can purchase as well.
Yeah.
At the moment, we're about to start working on like a tilt rack on a gas strut as well. So,
as in the tub rack itself will lift or something?
Yeah, so we're going to start working on that in the next week or two. That's going to be the biggest thing. Like we just get a lot of feedback from our customers, and a lot of people message us and say, can you do this, can you do that? And that's what we're finding at the moment. A lot of people are looking into some sort of tilt rack.
Yeah.
So we've got to keep with the times, and we're getting asked a lot, so we've got to try to produce a product that people are going to be happy with.
That's that fabricator in me is already going like, how the fuck are you gonna, once that's down, how do you lock that in? But Yeah, I mean, that would
So
be
we
really
treat-
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But another thing that we've got now, I think in the last 6 months, we've got a good friend that's got a business in 3D scanning and stuff like that. So a lot of our stuff now is pretty much all 3D scanned, so you can pretty much bring it up a computer and measure it all that way.
Yeah.
Where like the old school way, like I'd just grab a tape measure, I was like measuring center to center of holes, working off that,
Yeah.
sending it to my laser cutter saying, can we do a prototype bracket to see if this works? But yeah, now we're more leaning towards 3D scanning and
Yeah.
just the technology these days that it's out there.
It is.
Makes
I mean,
your life so much easier.
I know, like we were talking about the chassis bracing and the tray mounts that I have done through focus laser, and I did that old school when I went
Yeah,
down
you
there
told
and
me,
I was
the
like,
cardboard and stuff.
I'd take down cardboard templates. I cut out where I wanted the holes
Yeah.
and like shaped up the tray mounts. I was like, all right, here, can you just do that?
Like that.
They just like pick it apart, scan it, clean it up, done.
Yep.
You know, it's
Crazy.
so much quicker.
Yeah.
So much quicker.
There's another item that we're about to release, and that was the first one that we had actually went through that process of 3D scanning and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like the whole rendering and stuff's on the computer. Like you can turn it and like look at all the different angles, take measurements and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like right in front of you.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's opened my eyes to something that's just completely new to me. And
Yeah.
it's unreal.
We've gone through that with the company for all the bull bars that we're doing and the rear bars for those international scouts. So I did that old school, cut out the cardboard templates and built this plate style front bar out of steel, and just then replicated the other side, and then had them come down and go through, measure, scan, do all that stuff, and recreate it. And he sent me a photo of it, or 4 or 5 photos of it of different angles, and it's in the computer and it's 3D. He's like fitted it to a fake truck, and it's like on a beach and shit. I'm like, what the fuck, man? It's so cool what they can do. You really get an idea what it's going to look like.
Yeah, because it's my mate that's got the own business. Like he showed me the whole process of the 3D scanning as well.
Yeah,
like, it's just bloody unreal.
Yeah, it's cool though.
Just puts like a lot of like little stickers around, and it takes like the different textures, and like it's unreal. And then it does like a spray, so the 3D scanner picks it up a lot easier if there's like too much light and stuff. Like it's unreal, the whole process.
Yeah, it's cool.
But yeah, that was all new to me.
Yeah, I mean everything. It's all changing. I mean we were talking yesterday about the Cybertrucks. We ended up going down that fucking rabbit hole of EV 4-wheel drives and shit like that. And it was like, you get your that'd stir some shit. If you can get online and get a decent photo of like a Cybertruck or something, and get your 3D guy to superimpose or whatever it is, like Photoshop maybe one of your tub racks on it, and be
That'd
like,
be pretty cool.
Coming soon. People are gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because I don't even know if they've released them or not yet.
Oh, I've got no idea.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're a weird looking thing.
Very strange.
What's your take on all the news? Have you got, actually, that's probably another thing, like you're doing all the Colorado's, Rangers, all that. Are you doing anything for the big American stuff?
Every now and then we do. Like it's a complete custom order though when we do. We've done a fair few over the years, just like on the Silverados, the Tundras.
Yeah.
What else is there? The big Rams.
Yeah.
We've pretty much done them all. But there's so many different, like just the mounting is so different to like the standard run-of-the-mill utes. Like it's just completely different. But yeah, we've done a few.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a complete custom order.
Yeah.
And they're always a lot bigger, obviously.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's, yeah. It's because, obviously that's more of a, like, well, I mean, your main profile photo there for the rooftop style tent keeps it at the right height and all that sort of stuff. I mean, I guess I've done the whole swag thing, but there's definitely something I feel more comfortable being off the ground, and there's nothing going to crawl into me tent if I leave the bloody zipper open or whatever.
That's just like the most popular setup is right there.
Yeah.
Like, everyone sort of likes the rooftop to be below roof line, just to prevent wind drag. Like your fuel economy goes through the roof.
For sure.
The first tub rack that I built was quite a high one, and yeah, your fuel economy goes through the roof, and just the wind drag's horrible.
Are you going to get into anything like for the wagons or whatever, any kind of roof mount stuff, or?
I'm not. Yeah, probably not.
No.
Like we're already starting to dab in a few other little things at the moment, so sort of got to draw the line somewhere where it's just getting too many products, and it's still just me. Like,
yeah, that blows my mind.
It's a lot.
Have you thought about? Are you looking to expand? Are you thinking about doing something different, or we've just kicking along?
Yeah, we've looked into it like over the years. Obviously, like we have a couple of like real good months, and we're just like, this is just too much. Like I'm just working, even without having the second job. I'm just working the hours I was.
Yeah.
Just in this one job.
Yeah.
Like you just have those weeks where it's just hectic, and you're like, I need some help, but you sort of just get through it. Like it's not always like that, but
yeah.
Yeah.
What happens. What do you reckon's to date? So you're into your, 6th, 7th year?
Mm-hmm.
What do you reckon as far as starting a business and, I mean, there's obviously whatever it is that people choose to do, there's a certain type of tooling or whatever, but like starting a business and taking that leap of faith and backing yourself and all that, like what do you reckon's been some of the challenges that you've had that you sort of didn't see coming, or?
I would say like, myself, I'm like the biggest challenge I've had. Like I'm like such a control freak. Like you can probably see that I'm still doing it all by myself.
Yeah.
Like I'm an absolute control freak. Everything's got to be perfect.
Yep.
It's good for my customers because they're getting a awesome product.
Yeah.
And like I've got no one to blame. If something goes wrong, you're coming straight to me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But
there hasn't been too many challenges.
No.
No, not really. Like. At the end of the day, it is just like a tub rack. Like it's pretty simple, and that's the way we've kept it as well. Like we haven't, like we've been doing it quite a long time. We're still doing the same sort of things, but
yeah. Well, I mean, from that point of view, it's working. It's like if
it's
it ain't
working.
broke, don't fix it.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we haven't really had any challenges. Like the biggest thing is just like my suppliers and stuff like that. Like we have issues with them getting stuff to us in time, so we're letting customers down with deadlines and stuff like that.
That always sucks.
Yeah, just like managing your time and stuff like that's the biggest, hardest thing, and it's usually stuff that's out of your control as well.
Yeah,
like
and
some of that stuff you can't help.
No, and it's always hard when you've got to sit there and you've got to be the bad guy ringing up, going, look, and you can't. Yeah, it might very well be something that was totally out of your control and nothing that you had anything to do with. But you've got to make that call and go, look, fuck, I'm sorry, something's happened.
Yep.
X, Y, Z. We're gonna be late, which it's a shit call.
Yeah.
It's a shit call to have to make.
Even because we ship obviously a lot interstate and stuff like that. Just dealing with all the shipping companies and stuff like that. That's another massive pain in the ass.
Yeah, I get that every now and then when we send a bonnet out, which is probably a similar size box to what these racks are. Like, and it can be painful.
We haven't had anything bad happen in a while with the shipping, touch wood. Yeah. But like when we first started, I think it was probably 12 to 18 months in, we started shipping a couple of tub racks down to like Victoria or something, and like 2 of the parcels got lost as well. So I don't know how you lose a tub rack, but
yeah, that's a pretty big item to fucking misplace.
I don't know. But,
someone's got a free couple of tub racks.
Pretty much, but yeah, that was probably another big challenge. Like I pretty much wore the cost of those, and they were pretty much just gone. So I think it was a couple grand out of pocket at the end of the day of that. But it's part of business. Like you have wins, you have losses.
What would you do different? Like if you got this roadmap of the last 6 and a bit 7 years, is there any
start from scratch again?
Yeah, is there anything that you would do? I mean, obviously you jump straight into the bloody CNC stuff and the laser stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
But from like a customers or design or whatever, is there anything you do differently?
Not really. Just like what you mentioned there, you already knew what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Like you probably jump straight in. Like it's a lot of outlay though.
It is.
So even just starting off, like you still got to have some balls to be able to throw that sort of money into a business. But knowing what you know now, of course you would. But even starting off, like those sort of machines, they're not cheap. But
no, but I mean, like you're doing, you're outsourcing. You know, it's not. You don't have to go out and get like $100,000 bloody laser cutter.
Yeah. But yeah, probably wouldn't do much too different. Like I said before, I'm an absolute control freak, so not really anything goes wrong.
Yeah.
Like I've had a few guys here and there help me out. And you know what it's like with staff, like you can get let down there and here and like that. But yeah, doing everything myself. I'm pretty on top of everything. Like, all orders are done always on time. Like, you have these little ones here and there that aren't.
Yeah.
But usually that's out of my control, like stuff where someone else has let me down. But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty on top of everything. And I think it was a couple of years in, that's when we started keeping the items in stock as well. Like,
yeah, that's where I think
pushes
that's
us ahead.
It does, and
Yeah.
and it gets you that. But then there's the flip side of that is that outlay to hold stock, and I mean, and also obviously like it's not exactly a small item.
No,
so,
that's right. Yeah, so that's the biggest thing, just storing them all,
Yeah.
and all the different sorts that we have, all the different products we have. Like, that's the biggest thing, just storing it. But we found if it wasn't in stock, we're losing money, because a lot of people these days want stuff yesterday.
yeah,
They want it so fast. So if I don't have it in stock, they're going to go somewhere else.
yeah,
So that was our biggest thing. And then I started just like building up. Like, I'd keep 2 or 3, and then go to like, I don't know, 5 or 6, and then go to like 10, 20 at a
Yeah.
time. Because you have some weeks where you just sell everything. Like, I think I've got a full single bay, like, of shed that's both sides, like the front, like it's all just stacked up. And like, we have some weeks where we'll just be completely wiped out, like everything will go. And
It's crazy, yeah.
Oh, it's hectic.
Yeah.
And then we back straight. Like, we usually give as much notice as we can to all our laser cutters and steel providers and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
there's some weeks we're like, dude, we need it now, otherwise we're going to be losing money again. That was the biggest thing. That was a big turning point when we started keeping it in stock. It just felt like it was free money as well, because you already outlaid the.
It does like that, because
It does.
you almost like you've paid for it.
Yeah.
You kind of forget about that amount of money
Yeah.
that's gone out, and you're like,
It feels like free money,
yeah,
but you've already paid all the outlays. You're like, oh yeah, I'm not doing too well, and then you start selling. I don't know, you sell 5 tub racks that week, and you're like, oh fuck, I've got all this money.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
yeah, that was our biggest turning point, keeping shit in stock, because people don't like to wait anymore.
No, I get that every now and then when we're someone will ring up, and it might be something as simple as a tub liner or an underbody or whatever, and you're like, yeah, no, that's all sweet, we can get you in like 3-4 weeks, whatever it is, and like, yeah, no, I've got a trip coming up. Well, you're doing it after the trip,
Yeah.
or or you're doing it somewhere else, because
Yeah.
it's like there's people ahead of you, and you've got a little bit of downtime. Like, I think the underbodies, Neil Rush says something about I think it's about a week before you can go off road, and they're like, well, we're going
Oh, yeah.
we're going next weekend.
Yeah.
You're not fucking getting it done.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
No, it is. It's keeping up with that. I think there's that. I've had heaps of conversations about this. It's like all the social media, all the like Uber Eats, all that type of stuff has given. It's set up expectations for now.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like some stuff that's fine if you're ordering Macca's.
Yep.
But some stuff it's just fucking doesn't work that way.
It's the same with, like, we get a message for a custom rack. Like, it's completely custom. Because we subby a lot of our work out, we can't change some of our time periods, because we've got to give them a certain amount of notice. So they'll have, I want a complete custom sized platform, and as you know, we outsource those out of frames. So we've got to give them notice, and then it's just, it just doesn't happen overnight.
No, and look, the right kind of customers are going to get that. And the ones that don't are the types of fuckwits that'll sit down and then give you a shit review.
Yep.
I couldn't do this. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I get it. It's,
You start to pick them ones out as well, even just from the conversations you have prior to them ordering. You start to pick them ones out. And
but having said all that, what's the you've got the tub racks and all the stuff. When people are trying to find to come on and buy one, where are they going? Have you getting a website built, like a proper online store? Or?
yeah, we've got the website at the moment, but it's not a proper online shop sort of thing.
Yeah.
But we definitely need to do that ASAP.
Yeah.
Even the website at the moment needs updating. Like, we've got a heap of new products and stuff like that. I'm not real tech savvy, so
I know the feeling.
I hate all that stuff. Even like each invoice, like I still write an invoice out by hand.
Yeah,
Every order.
I've still got the carbon books.
So I'm pretty old school, not real tech savvy, but yeah, the website's something we need to get someone in to look at ASAP.
But they can go on and obviously send an inquiry.
Yeah, send the inquiry through the website. My Facebook page is probably the other. The webs. I jumped on the bandwagon for the website really late. Like, I didn't realise how much work I'd get from the website. Like, when I first started, it was just the Facebook page, that's it. And that was, all the orders was just coming through there. It was just hectic.
Yeah.
And then that sort of started dying off, and then I was like, fuck, maybe I should just give the website a go. I didn't know if it was going to be money well spent or not, but yeah, that's the best thing I ever done, was get that website up and running.
Yeah, it's fuck, I mean, there's that many different things now. Like, you've got businesses that run 90% of their stuff is Instagram. You got people that are mostly Facebook. You got websites. You got YouTube. You got fucking everything now. Yeah, and it's almost like a job. It's almost like a full-time person's job to run all that shit, so that you've got work to do.
Yeah.
But it's a challenge. We're going through all that as well. Like, we've started, we've got the video guys now, and the editors and the social stuff and all that, and it's, I mean,
the socials is just everything these days.
It is.
It's just everything.
Nuts.
Yeah.
And they're talking about, I got it earlier, and it was just, you have to be consistent. Fair enough. You stay relevant in the feed and all that sort of stuff. But now they're talking about, you got to post, 3 or 4 times a day, and you got to have this and all these photos and tags and hashtags. And I'm like, it just got to a point where I was like I can't fucking do it. I'm never going to get any work done.
Yeah.
All I'm going to be doing is taking photos and uploading shit.
Sitting on socials, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess from a point of view of the companies that are wholly and solely, I mean, if you put social media as an umbrella on YouTube as well and all that stuff, if a company is, that's where all their work comes from, fair enough. Okay, you probably got someone in there that's full-time that does all of that for you.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't say 99, probably 90% of the stuff that comes through here is repeat and referral. I think we were talking about this with someone last week, and it was like, I think I did like 6 posts on Facebook last year. It's such
a good way to be, though. Like, the old school way, just like word of mouth. I'd prefer that any day of the week. Like, that's obviously, you've got your name out there. Everyone just knows of you. You don't need that social platform, but...
Well, I mean, we don't need it to keep this little shop busy.
Yeah.
But I get from the point of view of, like, bigger stuff. Like, I was talking to Barney about this a couple of weeks ago. He's got, like, a full-time social guy that goes through, and they upload and they do all the imagery and all the other stuff and edit videos and whatever else. But in that same sense, like you are with the racks and like I am with what we do here, it's that perfectionist kind of control. I'd be like, you're going to pay somebody to do it. I'm going to be fucking, like, it's going to take my time anyway to check it, because I'm like, I want it to look a certain way. It's like, as much as it's stripped back and raw and swearing and, fuck this, fuck that, it's not, I'm not polished, but I want what goes out to be a polished product.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, you'd waste all that money. May not be a waste. And I'm probably talking out of my ass, because I've never had somebody that ran all that for me, so I'm just...
It's hard to know.
It's hard to know.
Yeah.
I know what I'm like when I'm looking at stuff to edit, and it's just, I can't, it takes me forever to get it where I want it. But I mean, I guess the people that do that for a living are probably, they'd take that 60 hours worth of time and put that done and get it done in 20 minutes.
You're like the face of the brand as well, though, so you definitely want everything looking the way you want it. Like...
Well, I mean,
when you're the business owner.
Yeah, look, yes, I want it to look a certain way, but that's based on not what it is, but how it's put together. Because I'm an idiot, and I'm always going to be an idiot, and I'll talk shit with anybody. Like, I don't want it to look like I'm polished. I want it to look like that what's being put out there has been put together well.
Yeah.
But there's so many different things now, and now. I had a conversation again the other day. I'm gonna fuck this up. There's some. It's like the next evolution of the internet is like this VR. It was metaverse type stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, when's that coming? It's like, it's already happening. They're talking about there's this. I'm guessing. I really should fucking look into this, because it blew my mind. It's like a digital world where people have like digital cars and digital.
One of my friends is right into that.
Yeah, and he's like, and people will pay money to have your product or whatever on their truck, and it might be a snorkel, might be, I don't know, might be $1.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works, but
there's a whole metaverse, and like these people can actually like, or me and you can do it. You can buy land in like the metaverse and set up your own business in this like metaverse, and it's hectic.
That's fucking mental.
Yeah. He's been trying to get me into it for ages. I'm like, dude, I'm just like not the tech savvy type, and he's like right into like the cryptos and stuff like that as well. So I'm sort of like that, like, same sort of thing. Just like it's real tech savvy, sort of thing. But
my head nearly exploded with fucking what was that game that everybody was playing? Oh my god, my kids love this, and I can't even fucking think of the name of it. First person shooter.
Fortnite or something.
Fortnite. Good God. How the fuck do you forget that? The Fortnite blew my mind.
Yeah, okay.
And so we start talking about this, and I just I'm like down the rabbit hole, man. It's like, okay, so what you're saying is that inside your computer, there's some sort of, game type thing where people have stuff like a truck or a house or whatever, and they pay money, and I can have my business things in there, and they'll put my snorkel on their truck, and I'll get paid, and it's in a game, and I'll physically get paid in real life.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, and I'm like, that's fucking retarded. Like, I mean, hey,
whatever makes you money.
Whatever makes you money, but like, I was like, that I don't understand.
Yeah.
If it's kids, I kind of get that, but for adults, buy a truck and go and actually fucking go off road and go and have fun. Like, it blows my mind.
Crazy,
I need to get somebody in here that deals with this shit to explain it to me. Oh, man, there's something up there that there's a gap in what my understanding of it is, and maybe what's actually happening. Blows my mind.
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy.
So I've like sort of pushed that away for a long time as well. Anything to do with tech, you just sort of like, I just don't go into it too much. I'm like, not really interested. It's just something in my mind that I'm just really old school.
No, I'm the same. And my drama is that, especially even starting doing this stuff and all the new business shit for this year, there's conversations that are happening that not only did I just not understand was even a thing. I would never have even thought like, oh yeah, there's a fucking digital world. It's crazy, like Matrix bullshit. But not only did I not know that they were a thing, but now I'm like, it's piquing my interest. Not because I want to sit there and play games all day, but I'm just trying to understand it. Yeah. When I don't understand something, I'm like, I gotta find out more, because I'm like, it doesn't compute, and that'll just bug me until I work out what it is. And like Fortnite, my kids were talking. It was probably 3 months of them playing that, and had all the settings so that they weren't exposed to whatever it was. I don't know what it was. It was safe. They couldn't talk to people because they're a bit younger. But it took 3 months of them talking to me about that and how excited they were before I was like, fuck, all right, I got to look at this. I got to see what they're playing, whatever. And even that, like, I now get it, because I understand it and I understand all that, but then it kind of sent me down again that rabbit hole, and you start watching videos and you're understanding what the game is, but then there's this whole other level of people that are playing it like professionally and winning serious fucking money.
Yeah, they're making good money out of it.
And it's like, I don't get it. I mean, it's cool. Like, you want to play a game and you can get paid. I wish they had that when we were playing Sonic the Hedgehog. I would have been fucking loaded.
Super Mario.
Well, yeah, that. Anything. Alex the Kid. Going back. What was that fucking off-road truck game we used to play on your Nintendo? It was just like a 2D thing. They'd go around trucks and they'd jump shit and...
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called
I
though.
can't remember what it's called.
I used to like Crash Bandicoot.
But in order to make...
Yeah, but you're younger. What are you, 30, aren't you?
Yeah.
Nah, you're a decade before
But
us.
at the same time, in order to make money, you've got to be good at it. We were never good at it.
We thought we were good. Might have got shot down, but it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought I was good.
We enjoyed it. We weren't good at it.
Well, we had our own little battles. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Sonic the Hedgehog, #1.
Yeah.
That was my favourite.
But like computer game, like those sort of games back then, it was just completely different. Like, could you imagine back then making money off playing those? Like,
I don't get it now, let alone back then.
Unheard of.
What? Wolfenstein. Do you remember that? We've
Early days.
that is early.
I think
He
it's
wouldn't even
before
know.
my time, yeah.
It is. Yeah, you bloody spring chicken. There was no. What did we used to play that was you and your cousin scared the living piss out of me with?
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil. They knew. I fucking remember what was on the screen. They knew. Like back, we would have been 15, somewhere like that. So, Resident Evil back then, and that's like mid to late 90s. God, that makes me feel old. You're going around the scene as this first person, whatever, and they knew that there was these, I think there were bats or something that were going to crash through a window. And they didn't tell me about it because they'd played this bit before and I'd shown up, whatever. And they've got the volume fucking right up and it's dead silent because it's like everybody's asleep and it's fucking dark and whatever. And they've gone through, didn't say shit to me, and I fucking levitated.
Got ya.
Fucking scared the shit out of me. It was awesome, but like, yeah, they got me. But fuck, I think we've gone a little bit off track. Resident Evil versus tub racks. Tub racks would be good if you wanted to build an apocalyptic Resident Evil vehicle.
Yeah.
There you go. That's your next step.
At least
yeah.
you got the rooftop tent, somewhere to sleep in.
I was thinking about mounting like big fuck off guns
Oh,
and shit,
big-
but you know, big bloody 50 cals. Oh yeah. All right. So, what's the website? Give us the website so we know what that is.
Same thing with no spaces. So www.triplem.tubracks.com.au.
Do people say www anymore?
I don't know.
Is that a thing? I don't think I've said
www.
www.
What do they normally say?
I don't know. It's wildsidegarage.com. That's all I say.
Yeah, okay.
www. Sounds weird. All right. So www.triplmtubracks.com.au.
Yep.
And you said, now I've tried to bring this up before, but I couldn't find it. So we got the Facebook there. What's the Instagram?
Same thing, all one word.
All right, so just Triple M Tub Racks in the search bar. Same thing on Facebook, and the website is www.triplemtubracks.com.au.
That's it.
That's awesome. So, all right, well, look, if anybody reaches out and gets to you that way, it's just there's a form submission. They put in what they've got, and you
Pretty
just
much.
get back to them.
Yep.
But you're looking at upgrading the website
Got 'em
to a
up.
store.
Yep. That's priority. In the next few weeks, we've got to get someone in to. We want the shop system where
Yeah.
you can just go on there,
Order it.
order it, and then it saves me a lot of time as well because when I'm replying to every inquiry that comes through,
Yeah.
like there's certain run-of-the-mill inquiries where they can just click on it and buy it.
Yep.
Saves me replying and
Yeah.
going through that whole conversation period.
Well, it's all part of that that streamlining process, like what you've done with the
Yep.
the outsourcing bits and pieces
Yeah.
and all that. So you're gonna have to,
Always learning.
yeah, you're gonna have to start keeping some more stock on hand, I reckon, because
Hopefully.
it's only gonna get busier. It's a fucking great product.
Just the last few weeks, it's just been hectic. Usually January's pretty quiet, like understandable. Like you just come from Christmas, kids are going back to school. Not a lot of people are spending money, but the last few weeks it's just been hectic as well.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
Well,
Every year, like you can go back through like your invoice periods and stuff like that and check each month.
is that on your carbon booklets? You like sitting there counting?
No,
up?
I've got a different thing as well. I've
Yeah.
actually got it on my phone. But
Nice.
yeah, you just go through it, and then January's usually quiet, and this month has just been hectic again.
Yeah.
So
It
just-
is.
Yeah,
It
it blows my mind all the time because how we talked before, how I thought it was going to be a 6-month thing, like a quick burst of quick cash coming in,
Yeah.
and it's still going, and it's still
Getting
going,
busier and
getting
bigger and busier.
Yeah, it's just going above and beyond of what you actually think is going to happen. And I don't know. I think it's because we do keep pushing forward as well. Like it should be doing what it is because we
Yeah.
keep releasing all these new products and stuff like that. So you should be getting busier because the more products and more different cars and stuff like that, you're open to more.
It's a larger audience
Yeah,
for sure.
that's it. Yeah, bigger audience. So you just
Look, I think it's awesome. I love the rack that you guys did for me. I think that anybody looking for that sort of product, you know, at least should check out what you do because it's a bloody good rack. It's strong as fuck. Like I'm 110 odd kilos, and I jumped around on it just for shits and giggles,
Yeah.
and it's like it didn't move.
yep.
So it's going to hold a tent, you know. I mean, unless you get up there on the tent and start fucking carrying on, but That's probably a story for another show.
Yeah, I'm sure there's been a few that have done it.
Well, you know, no, I
Guarantee it.
plead the fifth. Can you do that in Australia? Can you plead the fifth? I don't think it works. It doesn't work. All right, buddy. Well, I appreciate you coming down. We've got to
No
get you
worries,
another beer before you go. Fuck me. You've been sitting there dry. That's a bit
Yeah,
rough.
that's
I'm a
right.
shit host. Hey, did you
Very
have
dry
fun?
as well. Yeah, mate, it was good.
Yeah,
First
good.
timer. Hopefully, I wasn't too bad.
No, it's fucking
I was a bit
terrible.
nervous to start off with.
Yeah, but you forget the cameras are there after
Yeah,
a
you
while.
do.
It's fucking, you just
Just like me and you.
talk
Like,
shit.
we've done this a few times, just starting to
exactly.
talk shit.
It's just a matter of it's on camera, and if somebody gets something out of it, cool. With
Yeah.
all of our 5 subscribers,
Mhm.
you know, and if they don't, well, fuck it. It's an excuse to have a beer.
Bloody hell. Any
Oh,
excuse
but-
to have a beer.
There you go. Oh, but I appreciate you coming down.
No worries, man.
Thanks heaps, buddy. It's good
Appreciate
seeing you again, man. Bye, everybody.